Hey y'all. Hey everyone. I'll tell you what, we've had a lot of discussions about schools and returning back. So today I thought, well, tonight I thought I'd do a little bit of a live stream about it and just pass some of my thoughts off, answer some questions. Please chime in and let me know if you have any questions that you'd like for me to try to answer or get an answer to. So I'm going to start with Berkeley County and then we'll talk about Charleston County. I think the fact that a state house rep covers two counties, so that means two school districts, is part of the reason why we have some levels of dysfunction in this state. This is redistricting and gerrymandering, which we will be talking about at 12:30 tomorrow. If anybody wants to tune in. But let's get started with Berkeley County. So basically, the school board met last night. The superintendent's office submitted their plan, and it was approved. There is a lot of flexibility and ability to change the plan. So no, I think that's why we've seen them not release a ton of details. Like I think they need to release some more details, but I think that's why we've been limited in details, because they want to make sure that they're releasing information that's accurate and probably not going to change. So I think we need to probably strike a balance there. So the plan was approved. There are three pathways. So let me talk about the one that's the easiest to talk about first, and that's virtual. So that is not what people think of when they think of what if something new. This is a program that has always existed in Berkeley County. It's for grades 7 through 12. It's independent learning that's self-paced, and so it really, to me, I would probably only consider this program if it was already on your radar. It's for students that are really great independent workers, have really strong reading and writing skills. My thought has always been that this program exists for students that, really need some classes that maybe aren't offered in their high school or something like that. But basically, folks that are very self-motivated, self-guided. And it's only eligible for grades 7 through 12. So what most people are thinking of when they hear virtual is the actual blended distance learning pathway. And so that's kind of the second one that's there. And so that would be where students are at home or not in a school basically, and they are provided instruction by a Berkeley County School District teacher. And it happens through live streaming, through different software programs that allow interaction between the students and the teacher. And it also would help with, and then emails and things like that. And then there will be a traditional model, and that basically means that kids go to school. So registration opened today. You need to register your child for one of those three options by July 29th. If you don't do that, they will basically place your child into the distance pathway, where they are learning out of the school environment. And so I think it's very telling that that is the pathway that it's sorting you to. This certainly hasn't been stated by the school district or the school board, but the reason that they really wanted to have that traditional model available is there are some students, even with the COVID risks, that are safer in a school environment than they are in an out of school environment. It might be because that they are food insecure. It might be because they're really struggling with their mental health, isolating. It might be because they don't have internet access, so they don't have an educational opportunity. So that is the reason why I believe that they have created this traditional model. There are some students that are safer in a school, even though that they don't have all the procedures in place to keep them completely protected from the virus. They are still better off in school. And so I think that's why they are automatically sorting students to the distance model, basically. And not to say that everyone isn't eligible, but I think that's something to think about. They do not have, to a certain extent, I think they're counting on the fact that not all students will return for this to work, for there to be social distancing, because we don't have plexiglass and things like that in the classrooms. We have them in the offices, but not in the schools in Berkeley County. And so they are really counting, I think, on the fact that the schools will not be full to be able to maintain some of the social distance and things like that. So that's kind of what's going on. Many of you have noticed that the calendar changed. So the children are not, they're going back a week later than they originally had started, but some students will go back that first week. That is going to be an assessment period for students that were at risk last year. So if your student is one of these students, the school district will reach out to you and schedule you to do that. They may be there all week, they may only be there for a day, but most of the kids are going to go back a week after the 17th, after that what had been our start date. And then there are 5 days that have to get made up during the schedule. So the calendar has been voted on, it was proposed, it has been voted on, so you can look and see those dates when they are. So just to be aware of that. And lastly, I'm really happy that the school board has given us options. I hope that they release more information about what traditional schooling, what the guidelines are going to be, things about the absentee rate. If they could talk to us more about how will they establish, testing protocols, what will happen with a classroom where either a teacher or a student tests positive. We have a little bit of information because of the law that's in place for teacher protection. They get 2 weeks of leave. Through December, they would get paid leave, and then they're eligible for family leave, but we really don't know anything beyond that, and that's only because that was passed into law, and so that's guaranteed. I do not believe that the Berkeley County School District has made public any of that information. So I'm really calling on the superintendent's office and the school board to release more information that they have. They made it pretty clear they've got a really comprehensive plan. And so that information exists. I understand that they probably don't want to release a lot of it because they know some of it's going to change. Having said that, I think we need to trust families that they can, take this information in, read it. We're in unprecedented times, and make a decision that's best for them. And that will, I think, minimize going back and forth between different pathways, which I think is going to be really difficult. If a lot of folks are trying to do that, it's going to be difficult for the schools. So just know in Berkeley County that you need to go on ahead and start researching that and making some decisions. If you go to their website, the back to school section has frequently asked questions. It has a lot of information to help you make that decision. I would like to see more information about what the traditional classroom, what that's going to look like, the absentee policy, and how that they will manage students that test positive and things like that. That information has not been made public, and I think that is going to impact some people's decision about how, whether or not they want to send their kids back. Please read carefully what the procedures are, the safety guidelines. Don't assume that because one county is doing something or because DHEC has made a recommendation or the CDC has made a recommendation, that does not necessarily mean that it's happening. They have created the safest environment they can with the resources that they have. And so we need to understand that this is not an invitation to come back to school because school is in a position to prevent the virus from spreading. I don't really think that that's what this plan does. I don't think that the superintendent or the school board intends for you to think that that's what it does. It is an option for folks that their children need to be in a school environment, that they are safer in a school environment than they would be not in this environment. So that's Berkeley County. Does anybody have any questions? I don't even know if I can see. Facebook has changed the way they do stuff. I hate it when Facebook does that. So I can't see if anybody commented or if we have questions. So sorry about that. If you have a question and I'm not answering it, I can't see. So we'll talk about Charleston County next. They just released their plan. This is brand new. It has not been approved by the school board yet. That'll happen Monday at their school board meeting that's happening virtually. And basically, they are doing an in-person and a virtual option as well. Some schools will just go back. There is enough space for them to social distance, and there will not be a change in the schedule. Some schools have a student population that's going to require them to do what we've been hearing referred to as an AB, basically a split setup. So some students will go Monday and Tuesday, and some students will go Thursday and Friday. And so each individual school is going to have to make that decision. From what I understand, the district is going in and evaluating those. Little weak on the details on some of the requirements and things like that. I think we'll hear more about that since they just released the plan and it hasn't even been voted on yet. I'm hoping some of that information will come out in the school board meeting. So that's basically what's going to happen there. They will have a virtual program that is available for students that aren't comfortable coming back into a classroom. So basically, stay tuned on that. I think we're going to get a lot more information. I did read some references to plexiglass in the classrooms if they're not able to social distance. So different school districts have decided to spend the money that they had allocated for this in different ways. The school districts are different sizes, they have different challenges, so try really hard not to compare what one district is doing versus another. Berkeley County compared to Charleston County just geographically is a very different school district, and so what's an option in one is maybe not necessarily going to work in the other. And I do believe that that's why the state did what they did in allowing districts to decide what works best. I wish that we had a little bit more guidance from the state. I think Molly Spearman did a great thing by coming on and talking a little bit about this today. I hope we get even more guidance from the state level. I wish that Governor McMaster would realize that the way to address this economic crisis is to lock down as much as possible, get people out of bars, get people out of in dining areas inside, and just do the outside dining, and really stop the spread so that we can go back to work and that we can go back to school safely. And as long as we do not mandate masks, which we know help, as long as we're not taking this virus seriously and we have people kind of perpetuating this idea and this myth that this is no different than the flu, we are going to continue to be in this crisis. And so if we really want to solve the school crisis, we need the governor to really show some stronger leadership and set some guidelines and set some things to keep us safe, basically, and prevent the spread. So that's got to happen. So that's Charleston County, that's Berkeley County. I am available to answer any questions. If anybody has anything, just shoot me a message or call me. I'm here to help. I am happy. I have a line communication with the different school boards and superintendents. I'm happy to, I don't know if I'll get an answer, but I'm happy to try. So that's it. I'm here for y'all. If you have any questions or need advice or help and need something that you're not getting an answer to, please don't hesitate to let me know, and I will do my best to get it for you. So thanks so much for tuning in. Join us tomorrow at 12:30. We will be talking about redistricting and gerrymandering and with fair maps, and I'm very excited about that, so I hope to see you then. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.